Charles Olivera takes on Mateusz Gamrot in the main event of UFC Fight Night Rio this Saturday, October 11th, and I am going to talk about it today. I didn't want to do a full card predictions for this card because I'm going to be honest, after Charles Olivera and Mateusz Gamrot, there's not a lot of fights that I can really go in depth about. There's like Joe Alvarez, I'm pretty interested in that fight. Maybe the Figueiredo fight's pretty interesting, but besides that, there's not a lot of good fights on this Fight Night card that I want to cover, and I couldn't get to the UFC 320 breakdown because I wanted to make a video on Dan Hooker coming back. I was so excited for that, and that card is absolutely stacked. That, UFC Fight Night Qatar card, it's absolutely stacked. And yeah, Mateusz Gamrot, Charles Olivera, that is this Saturday though. And I see a lot of people stirring the pot, talking about a Mateusz Gamrot upset, and I disagree. I think that this is prime time for an Olivera sub. All right, Olivera submission, man. I'm calling it here. And I think that he's going to just put it on Gamrot like early. I think that Gamrot's going to try to put the pressure on with the takedowns, but I think in order to really take the wind out of Olivera's sails, especially in a 5-rounder when he has 5 rounds to work, you really got to be damaging on the ground. If you're just kind of controlling him and not really hurting Olivera on the ground, which that's kind of what Gamrot is. He's a big control kind of guy. Olivera is going to be throwing up submissions at you. Olivera is going to be active off bottom. And on the feet, he's going to be aggressive on Mateusz Gamrot, I think. I think that Olivera kind of knows that he can't play timid like he normally does against these heavy pressure wrestlers. Because against Arman, he was extremely timid on the feet, and that was very, very disappointing. I think Arman 3-0'd him, but I don't know. Somehow a judge gave the fight to Olivera. He did have a couple close submissions, and I think that Olivera is going to have some close submissions on Mateusz Gamrot this fight. I actually think he is going to submit Mateusz Gamrot in this fight, but Olivera, man, I mean, that Arman Tsarukyan performance was very, very bad, and the takedowns and the heavy pressure wrestling really did get to Olivera, but Arman was way more damaging off top than I think Gamrot's going to be, dude. I think Arman, he's got way better control. I don't know if he's got way better control than Gamrot, although Gamrot beat him. Absolute robbery, 4-1 Arman. But although Gamrot did have an extremely close fight with Arman, their top control is very similar, but I think Arman is way more damaging off top. And I don't think that Mateusz Gamrot's going to be able to put the hands on Olivera and put some damage on Olivera when he's got that top control. And I think that you need to be able to do that if you want to be able to take the wind out of Olivera's sails on the feet. And I also think that Arman is a better striker than Mateusz Gamrot. Mateusz Gamrot is a decent striker, but he's not really a KO guy. He did drop Dan Hooker pretty badly, but he's not much of a KO guy. He doesn't really have many finishes, and he gets dropped in all of his fights. Dan Hooker dropped him. RDA had him in real trouble. If RDA is getting you in real trouble in 2024, I think Olivera is going to put hands on you on the feet, man. Beneil Dariush dropped him bad, and Mateusz Gamrot, he likes to get dropped and then just shoot in for a panic takedown. And it works against guys that don't have submission skills like Olivera, but I don't know, man. I think chances are Gamrot gets hurt bad on the feet, shoots in for a takedown. Olivera can either get dominant position from there and then maybe get a submission that way, or maybe he just pulls a guillotine and subs him there. But I don't know. I'm very, very excited for this fight, and I think that it's going to be super, super close as well. Like, a lot of people are calling for a Gamrot upset, I don't think it's going to be super, super close. A lot of people are saying it's going to be super, super close, and a lot of people are calling for a Gamrot upset. I don't think so. I think Olivera is going to probably drop him once, maybe twice, hurt him bad on the feet, and then I think Gamrot will probably shoot in, get subbed. I'm going to go with Charles Olivera submission round 2. That's going to be my guess, but I don't know. Could be round 3, could be round 4. I don't know, but that's definitely going to be my final prediction for this fight. And for the winner, what do they get? I think if Olivera wins, which I think that he will, I would say maybe a Arman Dan Hooker loser. That could be a good fight, Arman Dan Hooker loser. If Gamrot wins, yeah, maybe Arman Dan Hooker loser as well. I think an Arman Dan Hooker loser and then Arman Dan Hooker winner title shot. And I think, honestly, the winner for this, if it's Gamrot, neither of these guys, honestly, could argue for a title shot. But an Olivera win in Rio, if you're Gamrot, that's a good win. But Charles Olivera, I do think that he's pretty far from the belt again. And I think that he's going to need a lot of work. And I don't think that he's going to get to the belt again. I don't think either of these guys will ever be champ, but this fight will still be extremely high level. There's going to be some super high level grappling exchanges early. And I think that Gamrot's going to shoot a lot early and often because the longer that this fight's on the feet, I think Olivera is going to have the advantage, and I think that's where he's going to pull away. I'm taking Olivera by submission, round 2, maybe round 3. If you guys like the video, subscribe to my channel, and who's with me?